Welcome to my new video. In this new video we install Fedora Server 42 with a custom LVM storage configuration. We explain some disk and LVM commands and extend the partitions. The first thing we do is to boot up the system with a USB stick with Fedora Server 42. I come back when the system is booted up. We start the setup with language. English United States. You see here we install Fedora Server and the other side Fedora 42. Continue. First we do the keyboard. Because I live in Belgium, I have an AZERTY keyboard, so I do plus sign, Belgium, add, and I remove English, minus, done. Language, that's already okay, done. Time and date, see here for me Europe, Brussels, that's okay. If not okay, you can change that here. Done. Then root account. Enable root account. Password. And confirm the password. Done. User creation. Name. The username, for me that's okay, you can change that if you want. Password. Confirm the password. You see here add administrative privileges, so that means you can use the root and require a password. Okay, done. Done. Installation source. For me that's okay, auto detected, but here you can choose network or an ISO. Okay, software selection, we do Fedora Server. If you want extra software, you can select it here, but for me that's okay for now. Done. Installation destination, we wait a little bit. The network, I have two networks, one unplugged and one, you see here, later we have 192.168.129.9. That's the IP address for the server. Done. Now we do the installation destination. So now we can configure the installation destination. You see here we have 4 drives. The last is the USB with the Fedora ISO, so we cannot use that. We have a 4 terabyte hard disk, a 250 gigabyte NVMe, and a 1 terabyte also NVMe. I want to install Fedora on this disk, so I select, and in the first video we did automatic. Now we do custom. Custom, done. You see, we have a whole new window. Open that. You see, from the previous installation, we have a root, a boot, and an IFI. So, what we do, we remove all that. See, delete all file systems. Delete it. Yes, see, everything is gone. In this first video, we use LVM. You can see that here we have more options. We have standard partition. We have VTRFS, LVM. So we use LVM. Click here to create them automatic. You see, we have a root partition from 15 gig, EFI 600 megabyte, and a boot from 1 gig. First, we change the root partition. We use 100 gig. Root partition, LVM, the file system XFS, and the volume group Fedora. We need to modify because you see here the size policy automatic. I want as large as possible. Because if you do automatic, the volume only gonna extend the 100 gig. So as large as possible. Save it. That's 1. Now we go plus. We create the second mount point. Home. Size 100 gig. At mount point. You see, home 100 gig, LVM, XFS, the Fedora volume group, modify as large as possible. Save it. We create the second one, plus var. Again, 100 gig. At one point, and you see, var 100 gig, LVM, XFS, the Fedora volume group, and the modify stays as large as possible. That's our system. We have a home, a root, a var, FI, and boot. Now we can done. We have to confirm everything. So she destroy almost everything on site and create new partitions. You see it here, everything she create. Accept changes. Be careful, because if you do now, everything is gone. So you have to be sure. Accept changes and begin installation. This gonna take some time. I come back when everything is ready and I speed up the video. See you in a minute. So the installation is complete. See it here, reboot system. We remove the USB stick and click on reboot system. It's gonna take a minute again and I come back when we can log in with SSH to our server. See you in a minute. We are at the command line of our Windows PC and can SSH to our server. You remember IP address, username, enter, and you see we have an error. We have to know ghost. I have to edit that. We do that and see you in a minute. Opened the .ssh file with notepad++, and every item with 192.168.129.9 you have to remove. So from here all until the end we delete. We save it and we can go back to our SSH command line. We are ready again to SSH to our server. You see now he asked me for the fingerprint. confirm yes. Passport. And you see, we are inside our server. To do all the commands, we have root privileges. So I do su password. You see, we have root privileges now. The first command I want to show you is fdisk with L. Go a little up. You see drives, the 4 terabyte hard disk, the 250 NVMe, then the 1 terabyte NVMe with 3 partitions, EFI, extended boot, and LVM. Then we have a couple of disks, the root, the swap file, and the home, and the var. You see, in the previous video we have only root. Here we have a root for 100 gigabyte, home also 100 gigabyte, and var also 100 gigabyte. At the end of this video we're going to change that. We're going to put here all the free space. The next command is lsblk. It's almost the same. You see, the hard disk, swap file, the 250 NVMe, and the 1 terabyte NVMe with 3 root, home, and var from 100 gigabyte. Our NVMe has a total of 929 free space. So the home we're going to extend later to the 929. The next command is same with the F parameter. You see, we have more options here. The file system type, the UID. The next command is lvlk ID. lvlk Here we have all the disks, the home, the partition 3, the partition 1, and the partition 2, the var, the root, the 250 NVMe, the 4 terabyte hard disk, and the swap file. Next is cat etc fstab. If you have followed the previous video, there we have only 3, the root, the boot, and the EFI. Here we have 2 extra, the home and the var. All these file systems are mounted at boot up. Then we do the F, again, the whole file system. Changes are home and var and root. Then we have df with capital T. See, more options. The file the type of the file system, and with H we have a more readable output. You see, root is 100 gigabyte, the home also 100 gigabyte, the var also 100 gigabyte. We have also boot, EFI, and temp. You can also look at the mount points. Here you see mount starting with /def. Enter. You see here also from the previous video we have only the root here. Here we have the root, the boot, the home, the var, and the EFI. The home and the var are new, also with the types and the parameters. Then we go to the commands from LVM, lvmdiskscan. See, That's the same from before. 1 LVM shift volume from 929. Then we have LVS. Here we have a difference. You see, home, root, and var from 100 gig. Next is pvdisplay. See, the psychical volume from 929. You see, we have free space here. I'm going to change that in a minute. Then we have pvscan. Again, R1 drive, 929, in use, 929. So the whole LVM is on the disk. Now we have vgscan. So the volume, again, Fedora. Found one volume group, Fedora. That's only one. Then we have vgdisplay. Here we have more information. Fedora, LVM2, read write, resizable. Total size 929. Allocated 300. If you remember, we have three partitions from 100 gigabyte and free 629. So we do the 629 inside the home. So the home gonna be 729. Then we have vgscan. Again, see here the Fedora volume group and lvscan, logical volume. You see, we have 3 active. The home from 100, the root 100, and the var also 100. Now we do the command df dh again. You see, we're going to change the def mapper Fedora home. Copy that. I do lvextend with the L parameter plus 100% free from for the def mapper Fedora home. So what we're going to do, all the free space goes to the Fedora home. Enter. You see, successful. Again, we do df dh, but you see, the home is still only 100 gigabyte. We have to grow the XFS type. So what we do, XFS grow fs and def mapper Fedora home. Enter. See, a lot of information, everything is okay. But if we do now df dh, enter, we see our home is now 630 gigabyte. So we have a root from 100 gigabyte, a lot of temps, the EFI, the Fedora home from 730, the Fedora var from 100, and a lot of temps. So this was it for this video. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe and give a thumbs up, and see you later. Thank you very much.